If you're a parent of a teen, you've probably done this before. You remind your teen to do something. Don't forget your homework. 1 hour later, you remind them again. Have you started your homework yet? Then at 9 p.m., you walk by their room and say, "Are you done with the homework?" At first, they say nothing. Then they sigh. Then they shut down and stop responding. Brain scans reveal something shocking. In that exact moment, your teen's brain is literally changing. And nagging is the trigger. Most parents assume that nagging works because eventually the teen completes the task. They finish the assignment. They set the table. They study for the test. But what parents don't see is the hidden cost, which is what the rest of the video will be about. I'm Daniel Wong. I'm a teen coach and I specialize in helping teens to thrive. Let me talk a bit more about the brain scans. Scientists have actually observed teen brains in real time as teens listen to repeated reminders from their parents. And what scientists discovered explains why nagging often makes teens less responsive, not more. To understand why, you need to see what's happening inside their brain. Dr. Kyung-Hwa Lee, Dr. Greg Siegel, and other researchers brought teenagers into a lab and placed them inside an fMRI scanner. An fMRI scanner measures which parts of the brain are active at any given moment. It's essentially a live activity map of the brain. While inside the scanner, teens heard recordings of their own mothers' voices nagging them. These were things their mothers had said before about behaviors that needed to change. Researchers then observed what happened inside the brain. They expected the thinking brain to activate because reminders are meant to help teens reflect and take ownership. But that's not what happened. The first thing researchers saw was increased activity in the emotional centers of the brain, areas like the insular and lentiform nucleus. These brain regions are involved in emotional pain and negative emotional reactions. This means that repeated reminders didn't activate motivation first. They activated emotional stress first. Why? Because nagging carries emotional weight. So the brain interprets repeated reminders as emotional pressure. Now, this doesn't mean your teen consciously thinks, "I'm under threat," because all this happens subconsciously and automatically. The emotional brain reacts before the thinking brain has a chance to fully engage. This explains why even calm nagging and reminders can lead to reactions like annoyance and shutting down. Not because teens want to be defiant, but because their emotional brain is now activated. And once the emotional brain gets activated, something else begins to shut down. Here's what the researchers discovered. At the exact same time that the emotional brain became more active, the thinking brain became less active. Specifically, there was decreased activity in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. This is one of the most important parts of the brain for planning, self-control, and decision-making. This is the part of your brain your teen relies on to take responsibility and follow through. But repeated reminders reduce activity in this brain region. This leads to the paradox of nagging. Nagging is intended to increase follow-through, but it reduces activity in the exact brain region required for follow-through. This explains something that most parents have come to realize. The more you remind and nag your teen, the less responsive they become. This is because their brain is shifting into a state where taking action becomes harder. Plus, there's another change in your teen's brain that explains why teens often stop listening altogether. If you're finding this video helpful so far, please click the like button. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future videos about helping teens to thrive. Researchers also discovered that there was decreased activity in brain regions responsible for perspective taking and empathy. These brain regions help your teen understand your intentions. They help your teen think, "My parents are reminding me because this is something important." But repeated nagging reduces activity in these brain regions. So your teen finds it harder to understand where you're coming from. Your teen becomes more likely to disengage because their brain is shifting into defensive mode. This also explains why nagging becomes less effective over time. The first reminder may work. The second reminder may still work. But by the third, fourth, or fifth reminder, the emotional brain becomes more dominant, and the thinking brain becomes less accessible. This leads to frustration for both parent and teen. Researchers even found that emotional brain activity stayed elevated even after the reminders stopped. This means that the emotional impact of nagging lingers. So nagging doesn't just affect the brain in the moment. It changes the brain's readiness to respond positively in the future. The teen's brain begins to associate reminders with emotional discomfort. and the brain naturally avoids discomfort. This raises an important question. If repeated reminders shut down your teen's thinking brain, what keeps your teen's thinking brain engaged? The answer comes down to how reminders are delivered. Because the goal isn't just to deliver information. The goal is to deliver information in a way that keeps the thinking brain active. When the thinking brain stays active, teens are far more capable of planning, reflecting, and making good choices, which is exactly what you want your teen to do. Let me give you a couple of examples. Instead of basically repeating, "Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework?" Try saying, "What's your plan for finishing the homework tonight?" Instead of, "Clean your room, clean your room, clean your room." Try saying, "When do you plan to clean your room?" So instead of repeated reminders, ask questions that activate your teen's thinking brain. This way, they'll be more likely to come up with a plan and take ownership. As a parent, you're not trying to force specific behaviors in the moment. You're trying to guide your teen in a way that enables them to become responsible. And responsibility isn't built through pressure or nagging. It's built through repeated experiences where the thinking brain stays engaged. Now you know why nagging your teen doesn't work. Would you also like to know the proven ways to get your teen to be motivated? If so, I have a resource for you. It's this free ebook I've written entitled 16 Keys to Motivating Your Teenager. Visit daniel-wong.com/ebook to download the ebook today. The download link is also in the description. And here's this other video I've created about the best way to discipline your teenager. In the video, I explain the simple approach that works every time. You'll find this video useful, so watch it next.